Yo, 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 what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show, the Eagles Plus show to be exact. My name is Jesse. I'm with my boys, G Rich, pointing around G Rich and Dual Threat. What's up, boys? How you doing today?
Doing all right. Dallas week.
I'm good.
Dallas week. Heck yeah, all right. So, we're doing good. I'm glad to see that because we were coming off a very tough loss this past weekend to the Arizona Cardinals. Um, It was a great show. If you guys watched the game, Jalen Hurts versus Kyler Murray, that was just a quarterback shootout to be seen. Probably, honestly, I'll put it up for the game of the year. Honestly, that's my vote. But how about you guys?
It was a good game. The right result. It was everything I hoped for, and maybe a little more. Honestly, we helped our draft position. People played well. Quez had a great touchdown, and
that's true.
And honestly, the defense, as bad as they were at times, really showed some heart. Really competing with a superior wide receiving core, and honestly did pretty well against the run with just comparatively when you have to kind of commit more to the pass. So it was really entertaining to see, especially down 16 with the game going horribly to start. To come back, fight, tie it up.
It was getting out of hand quickly.
It was bad.
Oh yeah. It was a great game, but G Rich, how about you, bro?
I was excited to see Quez Watkins get involved. I could hop off with that. I almost forgot to touch on that, but that boy fast.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like Jalen Reagor isn't as fast as he was coming out of college. I haven't seen the punt return. Even then, he didn't look like he had the same exact burst that I would have expected him to have. He still scored, but when Quez caught that pass and turned around, that takeoff speed, it was just that was next level. Nobody was catching him.
Oh yeah, I think Quez got very lucky on that block.
Yeah, he did.
I think it was Dallas Goedert who made a super clutch, almost a block in the back, right. Play, but when Quez spun around, I knew he was peacing out. I was like, oh, he's gone. Just let's go home, bro. And then, but right then and there, I was like, we might be in this game. And there, honestly, besides being down by 16, I didn't think that there was a moment where we were completely out of it. I always thought that we were in the game. I was like, we have a chance. I really think that we can. Especially with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had a great game. I think 400 yards, something like that. 100 yards rushing. Isn't he one of the only other rookies, I think, besides Lamar Jackson, who has 500 passing yards or something like that, and 100 plus rush yards in 2 games?
It's I think it was over 200 rushing yards or something like that. He had 100. He's had almost 100 yards a game. The first game he had 106, I want to say, or something.
It's ridiculous, and it's so. I'm happy, but I'm also so sad to see this offense thriving right now.
Just we know what that means.
Because it must be the he who shall not be named at this current moment. I'm just kidding, but Carson Wentz, it's so weird to just see this offense thrive with him off the field and with this just new kid, Jalen Hurts, rookie. Obviously, he's talented. We all knew who he was at Alabama and Oklahoma. But just to see the way he takes over the Eagles offense, makes it his team, and the fact that this has happened to Carson Wentz multiple times where his team just flips on him, they go with the backup, and it's just what is going on? I don't know.
You see the effort difference.
You do. From even really Alshon Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey has been showing up for the past couple weeks, and he's been nowhere to be found for the whole season. I know he's been injured, blah blah blah, but he's out there. He's burning Patrick Peterson. He's one of the best corners.
I think the difference is. Sorry to interrupt. I think the difference is he's getting chances. I think he's getting a lot more chances. That wasn't fair. That little fade route that Carson threw and was off timing. I think that Alshon still has talent within him. Like I think this definitely won't be his last year, even if he's not with the Eagles. Like he definitely will play somewhere, but it's just a matter of where. But I think it's the chances. Rager too, on the deep bombs to Rager, like just giving him a shot. And Rager's contested catching rate coming out of college, giving that boy a chance on 50-50 balls on his deep ball, that gets the offense going. But if you wait until you have 5 yards separation, it's going to usually be too late, and that's what the issue has been, I think.
Now, my one question is, what do you mean by thriving when you talk about the offense? Because I still see some issues. Hurts still got sacked 6 times. He didn't complete over 60% of his passes again.
Was it 55, right?
Yeah, something like that. He was 24 or 44 of his passes.
24-44.
Yeah.
Right.
Miles Sanders.
388 though. That's a pretty stat line.
Yeah. Miles Sanders' is rushing average has kind of come back to earth at more of a 3.8 clip. And are we going with thriving, or is it just more kind of
actually moving?
Offense? Yeah, it's just moving because Jalen Hurts can kind of make it move with his legs when
if it has to be that way,
all hell goes loose.
Well, look, in comparison to what they were doing before,
it looks the same to me, honestly.
I think that I would say is thriving because just the fact that we were never even able to put up points before the first half before. And now when I see Jalen Hurts and the offense, we actually get third down conversions. We actually are running the ball on first and second down and getting, like you say, 3 yards. But that still helps out Jalen Hurts to, roll out. And also, yes, he gets sacked 6 times, but we still got to remember he's dealing with the same offensive line Carson was dealing with, but he's managing it a lot better than Carson Wentz was. He's actually escaping the pocket. He's taking his time when he needs to, stepping up, running. He's not afraid. But if in my eyes, in comparison to what's happened the past 12, 13 weeks before, I would say that was definitely a good show, and I would say that they're thriving in comparison to with the Carson Wentz offense.
I understand. I see your point. I'll take it, and I will say the draft is nigh, and we can fully fix it very soon.
Point taken. But
I think that he definitely Jalen Hurts just is a little more protective with the ball, which is kind of what we needed. I mean, he's not. Well, he has. Okay, I know what you're referring to. The two almost pick sixes.
We can.
I got you. I'm saying him, but he's also a rookie, and I take that to account.
Which is also a good point too.
But I think a majority of his plays, and a notable play against the Saints, he broke out of the pocket. He ran out towards the right side. He stopped, set his feet, threw it out of bounds. That's some of the shit. Not trying to do too much, but still trying to make something happen up to the last point of the play that you can. That knowing your limits is very important as a quarterback. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna break every single sack. Someone's eventually gonna get open because eventually you're gonna start taking sacks. You're gonna start getting heavily criticized because those sacks turn into fumbles when you go against better defensive linemen, and there's a lot to take account to it. And then once you get hit enough after you do that, you're gonna get frazzled, and then you're gonna start forcing some passes to get rid of the ball. So all those taken into consideration.
Yeah, these are valid points.
For sure.
Exactly. So I mean, just taking it into account, I think he's just playing a little smarter and kind of cutting his limits shorter than Wentz did, even though he has the legs.
Right. And I mean, he even had that one spot where he almost fumbled the whole game away. And he actually picked it back up and saved his own mistake. It was actually really impressive to see, I thought. He turned a really bad negative into a really great positive. We didn't have any timeouts, and Dallas Goedert caught the ball, got out of bounds. We were still alive. And even on those last plays, we still had a great chance to win that game. I feel like personally, we probably should have, like maybe done one more crossing route and just shorten the field of that like 40 yards to make it 20. But it's whatever. I guess we'll just throw the 3 like Hail Marys, and it is what it is.
I thought it was really funny though when he fumbled it and picked it up and still made the play with the ball. That reminded me of like a 2017 Wentz type play.
No, right.
It's some crazy shit like that. Like I thought of Wentz like before everything happened in 2020 with all the regression talk and everything that's happened with, I mean,
right.
That's an endless discussion right there. But
so, do you guys agree with the with the comparisons of Jalen Hurts to Michael Vick?
That's a good question. Very good question.
I would use someone else, but I would. I want to see what do you guys think?
I'd go more Dak for Romo.
Dak, okay.
What you say, Dak for Romo?
Yeah, when Dak replaced Romo. That's kind of the situation I'm kind of seeing. But do you really want to push out the old guard, even though Carson doesn't have like a Romo tenure with Philly? He's also done some pretty great things for Philly, and both didn't really have personal playoff success for their franchises, but then get replaced by this young up and coming quarterback that can kind of run better than them and seemingly runs the offense better. And now we're actually going to have that same dilemma that they're having at the end. They had at the end of their season of who do you rock with, Tony Romo or Dak? Or do you run with Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts? And that's kind of how I see our situation probably going to unfold, because we knew Kevin Cobb wasn't the answer when Michael Vick got taken over.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
He was just like, we'll see what happens. And after like week 2, we kind of knew, Kevin Cobb's not the dude.
Yeah, no, of course not.
I think the pick 6 that he threw to Ed Reed, that was a big. Yeah. You remember that play?
Oh God!
He was looking all right. He was looking all right, and we weren't too far out of that. But when he just heaved it up, when you have Ed Reed on the back end like that, you cannot like.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it was almost as bad as like the interception as McNabb and the Super Bowl versus the Patriots for that same interception, or even the Rondé Barber interception where he's like right there, like where are you throwing to? And moving on, so onto Carson. Oh wait, actually, my bad. I totally forgot the thing. So I was gonna say the quarterback comparison of me. So what I've been hearing a lot is Michael Vick, but I was gonna compare Jalen Hurts to Russell Wilson because it's ability to escape the pocket. He's not as fast as Michael Vick, but he's still as tough as Russ, and he's able to extend the plays and make it more positive. And he's got a pretty all right arm for his age. Jalen Hurts is still pretty young, so I'm not saying he's as accurate as Russ is, but I thought he definitely shows the same kind of style of play. But that's just me.
I think the comparisons to Vic were more stat wise than actual play style, because it just happened to be that he grabbed 100 piece on his first debut running the ball. So they were like, oh. And then the people that don't actually like dive into like analytical comparisons, like the microwave stat divers, like they'll just come out and be like, oh shit, like look at the stats, and they just go off for publicity and put that. I don't think he's a Michael Vick by any means. I think a good comparison, in my opinion, would be I can go like the dual threats route, like how Dak came in, because Dak and him aren't like too different on like size, like their size comparison. They both are decently accurate. I mean, Dak's had his issues, we all know that, but like in comparison, the year that he came and lit it up, it was just. I think I would look more on that route. I do like your comparison with Russell Wilson. I mean, I can see the always kind of keeping the offense moving in the right direction, not really going backwards, which is important when you're trying to put together a drive. So,
right, exactly. And all right, so some in between game week. So, boys, time to celebrate. It's one of our favorite weeks of the year. We get it twice a year.
Right.
It's
Cheers to Dallas week.
Dallas hate week. Dallas sucks. We love to see it. But before we get a little bit,
bring a drink.
I kind of brought a water. I didn't even know that you were drinking a big ultra. I'm kind of jealous right now, actually.
I grabbed it right before the show. I was like, I think it's a great, and it's Sixers opening night.
Right.
So I was like, I think it's a great night to get my drink on right before a podcast, and
I respect that. Smart man. But
we all agree on this one.
Yeah, there we go. I agree.
There you go.
Alrighty, guys. So we got some great news. Even if we don't make the playoffs, some good news for three of our guys: Jason Kelsey, Brandon Graham, and Fletcher Cox, all making the Pro Bowl this year.
Yes.
Even though the whole team hasn't been playing that well, I would say I agree with these three choices. Jason Kelsey's an absolute machine. He's an indestructible Terminator of a center. I don't know how to explain it. Brandon Graham has been making a name for himself this year, I would say. And then Fletcher Cox, he's just as good as ever. He's not his best year, but
I just want to say congrats to BG. He probably won't see this podcast, but I just have to make it known in the atmosphere. Like, congrats to finally making a Pro Bowl after all these years. I mean, he's had so many shining moments, but he's really been putting it together this year. Late in his career, too, to say.
Yeah, 11.
I mean, he's drafted in 2010, right? And he's been here since.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a 10-year vet, and he's just – this is like a career year to him.
He's been on the grind, making every big play he can make. I mean – he made basically the game-winning play in the Super Bowl. He's a city hero in Philadelphia. I mean, I think it's about time. It's very well deserved.
Meanwhile,
I don't know if the Pro Bowl's going to get a lot of ratings. So what's up?
I was saying, meanwhile, Jason Kelsey to his 4th, and Fletcher Cox, congrats to his 6th straight.
A unit.
Straight unit. Playing very consistent for 6 years at a Pro Bowl level is not easy to do, especially at his position.
For sure.
Especially with the people that rotate through the defensive tackle position.
I mean, you think about some of the offensive linemen that he deals with. Those boys are nasty up front. Like, and you don't know it till you actually play on the D line. Like, I played a little bit of like edge rusher in high school, and I saw some of those tackles and some of the linemen that I got paired up with. Or sometimes they would stump me to the inside, and boy, those guards made it known that
it's tough.
Yeah, it's not an easy game in the trenches,
especially in the double teams. He gets every game.
That goes really unnoticed. I could say that by a lot of people. I mean, like, of course, like people that break down sports for a living, everything they'll look further into the trenches, but like a lot of people look at the style points when it comes out to it. So it's
for sure. Is there anyone on the team that you guys think someone else should have made it on their Pro Bowl, not instead, but maybe someone else as like a bonus player?
Oh yeah. Jalen Mills, one of the best safeties in the league right now. Honestly, we need to give some more respect on the Green Goblin's name. Honestly, like he does not get enough credit for how good he plays every week.
You're killing me, dude.
Okay. In all seriousness, I
love the Green Goblin, and he got clowned hard on Eagles Twitter for that shit. Remember, he retweeted it, and he was like, retweet for a Pro Bowl vote, and everybody was like,
they clowned him.
Posting like GIFs. People are like, like, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
On that one.
Not you.
I love McLeod though. I mean,
Rodney for sure.
He has had a great year.
I mean, how about Darius Slay? I mean, for all the tests he's been going through, sure, he wasn't able to shut down, Devontae Adams, but who does? No one really can. The Bucks did, but whatever. Like Darius Slay, I honestly, I really think that would have been my vote. He's been showing out for the team. He's been playing at the same hustle as Fletcher Cox and even Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey's been playing through a broken arm or whatever he's got going on, but Like I still think he's got that mental toughness up here, and I that would have been my vote. I think he would have been a great fit for the 2020 Pro Bowl.
I think it was his elbow.
It was over, yeah.
I think so. He got sent back to the locker room. He was pissed off on the sidelines. Did not want to leave the game.
Right. He's still playing. He's still playing it out.
I don't think he'll miss a game unless you like rip his arm off.
Just about.
Even then, I think he'll.
Fine. He'll just tape it.
Find a way.
If he's like, just get like a wooden spoon, put it on, it'll straighten out. I don't know.
Deshaun Jackson farewell tour, huh?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Do you think he ain't coming back? Do you think he's going to retire or go to another team? That's a good question.
I don't know. It depends on if he's tired of if the injuries have finally caught up to him mentally. Because physically they're there every year, but has it mentally gotten to him yet?
I'm gonna follow up. He plays against Dallas.
Right.
Hurts balls out with him. Like
Mhm.
they catch good connection because there were a lot of reports that they had a lot of training on the back end before the season.
Mhm.
And say that Deshaun Jackson has a big game in his first return after all the time he's missed. Do we give him a 1-year contract if he agrees to it? Or is he still mid-contract?
Yeah, I think he has one more year.
Is he really? He's like 33 years old.
I think he signed a 3-year, and this is his second year, if I'm not mistaken.
But do we keep him though? That's a no.
Nah, he's gonna be a cap casualty.
That's definitely a cap casualty. And he's old. He's still fast, but that's why we have Quez Watkins. That's why we have Jalen Reagor. That's why I guess we have Greg Ward. That's what I like. As weird as it is to say, who's Greg Ward, but that's why we have these young guys. I don't really want to see Deshaun Jackson play on Sunday. I'd rather see Travis Fulgham take more snaps because even when he was on the field versus Arizona, he still had great production in the fourth quarter for the 5 plays. He got a catch or whatever. But that's just I don't know. I love Deshaun Jackson. In that closet behind me, I have like at least 2 jerseys of his. I love the guy, but I don't know if his time is really still now. I think it's time to pack it up. And if he wants to keep playing, sure, go for it. But not in Philadelphia.
Right.
I don't think he's got many years left in on the. I think the injuries are
receiver coach though. That's what I need. Place who we have. Because Jesus, JJ has done absolutely nil since he's been here.
Right.
Someone needs to coach him up better.
Right. I think J-Jaw's best game was last year against Dallas.
It's also true.
That or the game versus Miami where that his only touchdown in his career.
Well, I mean, if you count like touchdown, but I'm talking like the production, like the first down catch, and then he had like another. I think he had a nice catch against the Giants. Like he kind of had like the over the shoulder. I think he's had a few flashes, but they've really struggled to get that boy going, and it's
weird.
And it's sad because like he's one of those two that I don't think he'll be like a star somewhere else, but it'll be like we'll start seeing the reports that he's doing better somewhere else. Like it's just how it works with Philly. That's Philly athletes, so high expectations.
That's what happens. I mean, Carson Wentz will probably happen too.
Yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready to buy my Carson Wentz coach jersey next year.
I bet you he's going to go to like the Patriots or something. I don't want to
have to hate him.
I know, right?
Carson.
I know, right? But
I think the Broncos are a good fit. I was seeing a lot of reports about that, and then he had John Elway in his corner.
That is true. I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos also looked at the draft because I feel like they draft a quarterback every single year. It feels like.
I like Drew Lock though, to be honest. I mean, like,
good.
I feel like he could have a good year, but I just don't. I'm not a quarterback coach. I don't know what to tell that guy, but like, and then the whole COVID situation, and they had to bring the wide receiver, bring him down the quarterback for that game. It definitely shows the difference having a quarterback versus not. I can tell you that after watching that game.
Yeah, that was insane. Because they threw it, like 9 times and completed 1 pass in the first half?
I'm pretty sure they're putting something in the Hall of Fame about that game, too.
They better. That is like
this game.
This whole year is going to be put in the Hall of Fame. I feel like
it really has been
COVID-19 year.
Dude, I laughed so hard yesterday. I was playing Madden and background in Madden. They were like, the quarterback cadences, how you hear like the beginning of the cadence, like the blue 19 and the quarterback said COVID-19. If that's not the most 2020 shit, dude.
That's amazing.
I can't make this up. Like I just happened to be listening to the quarterback's cadence.
I love and hate EA.
Oh gosh, me too. But I'm still gonna buy the next Madden or something.
That's true.
every time.
Every time. Just on the mind control. I'm just forced to.
So no hopes for a playoff run in this room, is there? Or how do you guys feel?
I have no desire to see us make this miracle run happen, being 6-9-1 in the playoffs. No, that is so ugly, so not pretty, so not cute.
What if we sneak in and Hurts balls out, and then we see a lot of promising
ski mask season, man.
Ski mask season.
It's ski mask season, of course. I mean, I think it would be hilarious if anything.
We have too many fundamental issues all around our team to squander a top 16 pick. Honestly, which is more like a top 10 pick, just for the fact of, hey, let's get him a little bit of playoff experience his first year. Let's make a statement at 6-9-1. Maybe we knock out a 5 seed that already looks like a powerhouse, because honestly, these 1 through 5 minus the NFC East looks great.
Well, if we somehow win the division, if it all works out that way, and we get in, that puts us up at 5th seed, right?
That puts us at 4 against the 5th.
4? Yeah. Okay. So we would play with the first round bye. That makes 6.
It might be Tampa.
So we play the 5th seed.
Yeah.
Which might be Tampa, or I don't know, Arizona maybe.
And basically we get to play Tom Brady in the cold again, who is notoriously a great cold quarterback. That's fun. That gives me hope.
It would be fun. I you know what? As long as you give us a chance, if we get that.
Our defense. I like our defense. Like when we
play the Rams, it's either the Rams or the Bucks.
What about Michael Jacquet?
He looked good. Got mossed a couple times, or hopped a couple times.
Yeah, I was more impressed by Epps. Even with that pick, he did awkwardly chase down D-Hop, where he was kind of like getting chased by Hopkins, more like it, and he was like trying to not get juked out. He was kind of like trying to make sure like, he stays like out of bounds. Like it was kind of funny to watch, but he actually did a pretty good job at safety. I thought he made some pretty good plays. He had that great pick, and he made the smart decision to get the touchback and give us a chance. I wish our offense, had converted on that chance, but woulda, coulda, shoulda.
He did get juked out at the goal line by Kyler, but everybody gets juked out in the open field by Kyler.
Look, I don't expect a lot.
It's a weekly thing.
If you're third string safety, I don't expect a lot. I expect like the minimum, the absolute minimum. You can get juked out by the best player. I don't care, bro.
I'm like, is he a third string safety? He's more of our nickel. He's in there a lot. I expect more from Epps. He's in there at a solid like 60% of the time.
Yeah, but you want to be more reliant on like Roby Coleman. I know he's not the best name to mention, but like Roby Coleman's not bad. He's someone you can rely on. Sidney Jones used to be that guy, but so long, farewell. I mean, Jalen Mills
flashes last game.
Who?
Roby Coleman. He had a couple of flashes last game.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and he had some rough plays on his resume going into the game that people probably wouldn't have wanted him in just because. But I mean, the he was a part of the forced fumble. I watched one play where it looked like man to me, but they said that we were in zone, but it looked like he was falling. Maybe it was like a mixture. Maybe he was just following the slot.
Like a match?
Yeah, maybe it was like kind of like a match play, but he was coming behind and he got cut off and he still managed to make the tackle. I think it was like third and
the 3, where it went to Kirk. And
yeah,
Kirk was on that.
and he tackled him at like the 1 or like with 1 yard to go.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was impressive to me. That's the stuff that pops out to me. I like the effort there.
He got saved by a pretty bad pass by Kyler. That made Kirk not catching his stride. But it was amazing hustle. I'm nitpicking, but it was amazing. It was amazing hustle.
That's what you do. That's what you do. That's why we got you.
Put it into perspective.
Makes sense.
That's why I'll show you anything, and I'll be like, "Do you have any criticisms?" Because I know how you are.
There'll be a couple criticisms because you don't know how to word things at all, Greg.
Jeez.
No, that's a side topic. That has nothing to do with the podcast.
At all. And personal gripes.
Jeez. All right. Sounds like it. All right. So going into this week, Doug Peterson named Jalen Hurts a starter. No surprise. I think we're all pretty okay with that choice.
Mm-hmm.
So now the question is, what the heck are we gonna do? Do you think Jalen Hurts is gonna pretty much be the starter for the rest of the year? What do we do in the offseason?
I think Jalen Hurts is. We're riding with Jalen Hurts for the rest of the season. You don't go away from the hot hand, even if the hot hand cools down next week. You still ride with Jalen because even if it cools down, you still want to get him the reps and try and end him on a good note in week 17, and try and build on that next season. And honestly, I feel like we're heading down to a QB battle if Carson Wentz doesn't say, I'm going to renegotiate my contract and get out of here. We're not going to take on $60 million of dead money for a guy that's not here. So, wow, it's going to be an amazing offseason.
It's going to be fun.
I was seeing reports too that Carson was like, I'm not gonna stick around as a backup, which I don't blame him. I mean,
yeah, that last minute report from Shefty on bright Sunday morning, right? Like actually at the same time, like when we were doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
so we missed it, but I was like, wow, what good timing that is. Like 8 hours before kickoff, like, like, oh, Carson Wentz is like unhappy. Like, of course he's unhappy. Like what do you mean? You think he's like, oh yeah, put me on the bench. I want to sit my ass here for the rest of the season.
And possibly not play another snap for the team that I dedicated so much to.
Exactly. But I think I do agree with Dual Threat. I think we're paying him a little bit too much money to give up on him. I think we literally owe him that one more chance. Like, all right, like, I just say next year we eat that $25 million that we owe him. We have a full preseason, a full off season, full training camp. Maybe they'll bring back preseason games, maybe, and then we'll have an actual QB battle during the preseason games.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's what I hope to see, because I doubt that the Colts are going to take on that $25 million. But maybe in 2 years, when it's like like 20 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like some kind of like better number than 25, but something you can actually pay quarterback and he improves a little bit, and we just don't want him anymore. But
do you have any predictions on the situation? Like who might win that QB battle? Or how do you think that's going to roll out later on?
To what I'm watching now, if I had to go based off what's happening right here in this very moment, December 23rd, 2020, I think Jalen Hurts would win the battle, but who knows? Maybe down the line, maybe Carson is watching closely to his little tablet on the sideline. Maybe he's just taking mental notes. Maybe he just needs like a couple weeks or something like that. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe he needs to see like a psychiatrist. I said this on Sunday too, but if that happens, maybe he'll be better. And if anything, Jalen Hurts is super cheap contract. He's still on his rookie deal. So why not see, hey, do you want to stay for another year, please? Like, while we just see if this guy sucks or not. And if he sucks, give Carson a boot. That's what it is. How about you guys?
I mean, I think that we make some staffing changes for sure. I don't know what route they're going to take, but if we get a QB coach a new QB coach, and we get maybe an offensive coordinator.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah,
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Wait,
well, I don't even know what an offensive coordinator does.
A coordinator? A what?
What?
Oh, we get an assistant to the head coach. Some awful shit.
That sounds about right. I only know defensive coordinator.
But
bleed my heart.
On the real, I think that I agree that I would like to see a little bit of a battle, maybe better coaching. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's all wishful thinking on either end, because you really don't know what it's going to look like.
I hate being the city of a QB battle every season. McNabb and Cobb, McNabb and Jeff Garcia, Cobb and Vic,
Vic and Foles,
Vic and Vince Young. I mean, I think I got that order right, but like Nick Foles and Wentz, and now Jalen Hurts and Wentz, and I'm just like, oh my god, dude, I can't. Was it like this in the '90s with like Cunningham, and was there someone else on the sideline too that you just liked more, or something? Like, what is with this freaking city? I don't get it. It's a really fickle city. We just expect the absolute best, and it's just like it runs everyone out of town. I'm like, can you guys just be nice for just 2 seconds? Not throw
assholes.
Not throw snowballs at Santa Claus. Maybe not have that us be known for that for the rest of our lives, and that would be great.
I'm really surprised that stuck for so long. Throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. You would have thought it would.
It's not going away. It's not going away. It's never going to go away. As long as someone's grandpa is still alive, to be like, you threw snowballs at Santa Claus, they're always going to rub it in our faces every single time. But hey, I guess if we're a QB factory, we're going to have a bunch of QB controversies, right?
Mm-hmm. Here's my prediction for this year's draft. For round 2, we're going to pick Zach Wilson out of BYU QB just to give Jalen Hurts a competent backup after we trade Carson Wentz.
Oh my god. Just because we're a QB factory.
We lost Carson.
We'll have a vacancy in the factory. We got that vacancy in the factory. We might as well fill it.
It's gonna be like a first round draft pick too.
Yes.
Oh god.
But I definitely hate that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it sucks to have a bad year, but Philly fans, that one bad year and you're gonna kick somebody to the curb. Like, and in most positions you can maybe argue around that, but like with what we saw with Wentz, and then he had that one bad year, and then you look at all the other comparisons that they had with like quarterbacks that did well and then had a bad year. Mm-hmm. And it just seems like media, first off, fans, like we just don't allow a bad year to happen, and just be patient. Like, we're not patient. Like, if you're not good, get the hell out of here. Mm-hmm. Is basically how we roll. And I don't know.
And it's like, look, I get it. We're all in our couches. We're all in the stands. We're all drinking our beers, enjoying the game, and we all have our armchair coach opinions and whatnot. But people like Nelson Aguilar, we ran him out of town because
he can catch.
He couldn't catch for us. He just couldn't. I mean, he still is getting halfway decent at catching in I almost said Oakland, in Vegas.
Right.
But if you make one stupid play, we're gonna make sure you hear about it for the rest of your life. And I love that about us, but I also hate that about us.
And what's funny is if you listen to media and read articles, you would think Nelson Aguilar is like Jerry Rice over with the Raiders. Like,
He's
right.
having a pretty
It's
regular
crazy.
season.
Like he's having a good season, but realistically, I think Fulgham has as many yards as he does in like 4 games.
Probably. Actually, maybe.
How many yards? I don't know how many yards. That was just a.
That's actually a good question. I'm
He
interested. in that
he
one.
still has the most on the team. I know that on the Eagles.
He doesn't even have 500 yards yet.
Yeah.
Would you believe it? We wrote him off.
So
Nelson's at 684 right now.
Okay.
With 42 catches.
So, question for you guys: seeing how Alshon's playing right now, do we keep playing him over Travis Fulgham, or do we try to somehow play them both? I obviously say both, but
I like a healthy mix.
Right.
Myself, I think so. They're targets. I mean, they're both pretty decent targets. Fulgham has shown some hand issues here and there. Alshon hasn't really, other than the slip catch against the Saints, but like other than that, I mean, he's shown a lot of promise with his hands. So if we have a healthy mix between the two, Fulgham's shown some production. Alshon is a matchup nightmare if you use him right. That's literally what it was. He saw the 1-on-1, and Hurts was like, I like my guy better than yours, because on the back end, what we don't see is different from what they show on media. And I'm sure Alshon is still Alshon. Like they're just struggling to get him involved. So I mean, I think that we give everyone a little bit of a shot, especially with how the year's going, so we know what we're working with in a live situation.
Yeah, I feel you. I honestly think Travis Fulgham should be taking regular snaps.
Really?
And yeah, I feel like I understand the way that Rager can explode an offense and really like stretch the field, but I feel like he's not really getting the separation like needed. Like it's like once every like blue moon he beats someone on a post or a streak. He's really routing people up to get open now. I feel like Travis can probably do the same and also give you a more jump ball ability. And I say doing a healthy mix of both, because honestly, is going Alshon and Greg Ward as our 2 best receivers. Who would have thought going into this year that those 2 would be our best receivers again?
Right. Exactly. And it's like, for me, it's like I would go opposite. I mean, if anything, I would just put, if you really want to start Alshon Jeffrey, like put him at the number 1 spot. And I mean, put Fulgham in like the slot or something. Like let him cook someone up, and then let Jalen Reagor at the other end getting the speed, or even Greg Ward's kind of fast. Like he could definitely get out there if he wants to. But I feel like we have this diamond in the rough in Travis Fulgham, and I feel like we need to really use him, because obviously he was such a big help at the end of the game and getting us in position. And Jalen Hurts.
Pittsburgh has a very stingy secondary, and Fulgham was just routing them up, dude. And then we played the Ravens, and he still had some production against them. Marlon Humphrey on his shoulder, hanging off of him, basically.
He had that nasty catch that was like contested by 3 other people in the end zone or whatever, and it's ridiculous. But I love Travis Fulgham. I actually bought a jersey during that like 4 week run, and now I'm like, oh man, I was not that good anymore. So
that's the low key reason why he wants him to ball out.
Yeah, I mean,
like how I want the worth out of my jersey.
Like low key, I would like him. I would like me to like not be embarrassed about having a Fulgham jersey.
Hey, but he definitely showed some promise. So I mean, I don't blame you for that. That's and like if you watch the game versus reading stats, like you would have thought Ward had like 15 catches.
Right. And I mean, he's been the guy right now. Greg Ward. It seems like Jalen Hurts seems to really like him. So
last game they like 4 catches, 30 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like he only had 30 yards, but he's a short yardage. A nice comparison I like to put with Greg Ward is kind of like a Jason Avant type guy. Like he's like that sure-handed, but he's not gonna like he more than likely not gonna break a tackle and run 60 yards.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, I can definitely see that for sure. For sure. I wouldn't really know who else to compare Greg Ward to. I mean, but he's definitely that safety net. He's always there. He's almost like that
Vertic
check down.
quarterback.
Yeah, he's like that check down to your tight end, but instead he's like this really small, like half quarterback, half receiver dude. So he's always a nice weapon.
Like Cole Beasley, maybe.
Cole Beasley sounds like a good comparison, I would say.
I like that actually, because Cole Beasley's not really a home run hitter type guy, but he's very consistent. I think Cole Beasley. I mean, but they also have better coaching and quarterback play at certain moments with Josh Allen, but I think Cole Beasley's been a little more productive. Obviously, tore me up in a fantasy matchup, and I didn't expect it either. Like I was, of course, when you go into a matchup, you grade your matchups like one by one. You kind of see like who am I going against, and I didn't expect it. I think he dropped like 20 or 30 points on me in one game. I was like, what the hell?
All right.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
You least expect it.
Yeah. But did you guys hear about the Dwayne Haskins story going on right now?
No, what's going on with Dwayne Haskins?
I have, but go ahead.
So Dwayne Haskins, over the weekend was caught on film partying with strippers with no mask on. So he went to Coach Rivera. He has taken full responsibility. He said he's sorry. He knows that he has put the team at risk. Dual Threat is very upset about this. And
because he knows what this means. He knows what this means.
So stupid.
Yeah, and so the Washington
They caught him in
football team.
4K. Oh my god, that's so stupid.
So the Washington football team,
My freaking uncle, bro.
Same. The Washington football team are thinking about trying to punish him in some kind of way, whether it's suspension, a fine.
They took his,
God,
they took
so
his
it means
captain badge away.
Oh shit.
So, basically, the Washington football team could end up choking the NFC East because Dwayne Haskins was partying with strippers.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
I think Dual Threat's more mad that the division's opening up more and more.
This playoff spot's coming up.
I'm not really mad that the division is opening up. I'm mad it's opening up for a dumb reason. Like it's not even like, oh yeah, he took a fall in practice. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like no, this is like such an unnecessary thing with your playoff hopes alive. You already lost your job once.
So he'd be okay if he was at a strip club with a mask, right? Like
honestly, if he was in the strip club with a mask, like a full-on Terminator one, so no one knows exactly who it is. It's not young Simba out there looking at ass. No, jeez, when he's playing like it, like oh my god, this is.
You would think somebody that might be as known as he is would have wore like maybe like a full fade gator kind of put himself. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
So the good news for Dwayne, I guess, is he didn't. It doesn't seem like he went to a strip club. It's more of he just rent, or someone. I'm not saying he rented him, but someone rented it and went to. It seems like, I don't know. It's like a hotel or like an apartment. Maybe it's his apartment. So he did it in privacy, maybe, I don't know, but maybe that makes it a little bit better. Like it doesn't at all.
It took his,
17 weeks. It's 17 weeks that you just gotta go fine. You don't need
doing
it.
some internal punishments, by the way.
I
saw a report. I was trying to throw it out there. I think that he got his captain badge taken away, and I think they're talking to him more. Like he still might have some brewing punishments, but I mean, but a lot of people were like, "Why was he a captain?"
Yeah. Well, I
So,
guess
like, is that really
he's
going to
part of
hurt his feelings like that bad on the real?
Yeah, but I think the football team were. I'd be really interested to see what the punishment is here, for him and how the NFL will look into it because I'm sure that they're gonna want to see something about it too. But I'm sure the football team. I'm sure that Washington is going to try to make it as minimal as possible, just so he could still play and just brush it off as whatever. I mean, I guess the only thing you can really do is find him and give him a COVID test and make sure he's good. As sad as it is to say, but that's exactly what I think is going to transpire. He's going to get a huge fine from not only the football team but the NFL, and then he'll get a COVID test, and maybe he'll be positive, and he'll just be suspended, and then that will be the way the Eagles make it in to the playoffs.
This broke me. Like, the stupidity just broke me. Like,
Don't we need New York to lose one more, don't we?
yeah,
Yes.
but
They play
have,
the Ravens.
and the Browns.
Oh, nice.
They have a depth schedule.
So
that-
Fred's wish we're gonna make it into the playoffs. Watch.
But the Eagles have to win versus Dallas and Washington.
All right, it's gonna.
we need to
We
win.
can talk about that a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a different matchup. We're actually going to see Andy Dalton at home, so they're actually going to have a quarterback this time.
Right.
Without us having a secondary, so that's.
And they have good receivers. So
Darius Slay might be back. I think since he was rested for this past week because of his concussion, even though he was cleared, I think he'll definitely be back. So I think we got a little bit of life going on. I don't know about.
I mean, but even then, with the Jaquette showed some fire. He definitely showed he can hang with some receivers. But who would you follow? Who do you think's done most? Amari? You think Amari's?
I don't think, right? Or no?
Anybody. I just think you have Amari, CD, and Gallup. You don't follow anybody. You just place him where he is because all of them are equal level of a threat.
Yeah, because really. if you take him or if you take Slay and you follow Amari per se,
right?
You can't tell me that CD's not gonna cook
anyone.
Cook anybody else like that he wouldn't be able to.
The worst day of his life.
Yeah.
And he just got mossed by D-Hop in the middle of the field.
And Gallup's their jump ball guy. So that'd be interesting to watch too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, with our no look secondary that just likes to drive into the receiver instead of actually play the ball. The only one that actually plays the ball that I've seen is Slay getting his head around. I've seen it maybe once or twice a nice play on the ball, but it's usually just they play the receivers because they're inferior and they know it. Yeah, so they're just trying to make it work.
Right.
It even happened on Sunday when Larry Fitzgerald caught that ridiculous corner touchdown. Like when I forget who it was covering it. Coleman. All he had to do was just turn around, play the ball. I guarantee he would have made that pick. But I know I played a little bit of corner back in spring football of high school, and then I got burned alive. That's why I got moved at.
It's not an easy position. It's really not.
It's not. It's super hard. I would end up getting wrecked by receivers even. But anyway, it's so. And when it comes to getting mossed by D-Hop, everyone's going to get mossed by D-Hop. You know, that was just a mismatch. Excuse me.
That catch was insane.
Yeah,
all of these things were.
I mean, the toe tap.
Even that they were making
the slant
plays.
Yeah, I had hella notes on that game too. We could talk about it later, but
for sure.
Now we're on the game. Let's bring out the notes. Let's hear it.
Yeah, bring out the notes. Come on.
Yeah, bring it up.
I don't have the notes on me. I wasn't going into it. You want me to go get the notes?
You can't segue. You can't segue so perfectly and then not have the actual instrument that you segue into, man. God damn it, Greg.
That's funny. No, but anyway, but going back to this weekend, I think our secondary, I think we'll be okay. I think if our front seven just puts pressure on Dalton I didn't even think he'll get off the passes to CD or Amari or their tight ends or even, and also Jalen Hurts versus this very banged up Cowboys defense. I think it's a very good shot, and I don't think it'll be a shootout. I think the Eagles might actually have a pretty solid chance this week. Like they could get a pretty solid score.
Dallas is doing a really good job of creating takeaways recently. They had a lot last week, and they were like punch outs too. So
Anthony Brown, I saw his pick.
Yeah,
that's true.
They're showing up what used to be their biggest weakness, and,
right.
And it's going to be a battle. And
I'll tell you what, Jalen Hurts has been a nice start at fantasy.
Yes,
I bet
them rushing yards, and I think the matchup, regardless we win or lose, I think Hurts will still move the ball. He's just a natural born. Like you could see, he's like a natural born leader type guy. Like that's how he rolls. You saw his report. They asked him about all the outside noise, and he was like, I don't pay attention. The rat poison comment that he had. He said, I stay away from the rat poison.
Mm-hmm.
I'm meaning like Philly fans.
Yeah, I'm loving this cool, calm Jalen Hurts right now. He's like,
feels nice. I mean, it kind of feels like we're not really worrying as much at that position.
No,
like I don't think now. Do I think he's the long-term answer? That's still to be foreseen. We don't know yet. So we go through a whole off season. Everyone gets the game plan against him, and then if he does start next season, then we'll really start to see. If he comes out and starts lighting people up after a whole off season, then we could start noting that a little better. But it's at this point, it's just the new guy on the block, just coming around and lighting up opposing defenses. And I mean, look at Dak's first year too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing. I'm trying to pump the brakes as much as I can. I'm trying to be like, okay, you know what, maybe this is just the same thing that happened to Carson, and he's being really good right now, and I'm really liking it. And we're gonna pay him $100 million, and after we do that, then Jalen Hurts is gonna start sucking, and then we're gonna be the same thing over and over and over again.
Don't even speak that into existence.
Here, this table's made of wood. Table's made of wood. I'm knocking on it for our sake, but but the point is, I'm trying the best I can to be like, all right, Jalen Hurts looks nice. Let's let him finish the season, and then, like we said earlier, let's let him have a nice little QB battle. See what happens.
But we'll be more than likely back for a pregame show. However. So I don't want to dive into score predictions stuff just yet. We're gonna break down a little more. But is there anything that you guys like to say to close this out?
I have a question to close, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for the rest of y'all.
What you got, Jesse?
All right. Quick. A humble brag. At the end of the show on Sunday, I made a anytime touchdown bet for Antonio Brown, and I got it right, and I'm very proud of that. I didn't win any
out instantly on that. As soon as it happened, I was watching Red Zone.
I was like, "Oh my god, I did it! I can see all." So yeah, that's fun. So I will make another anytime touchdown bet on Sunday.
I know someone made bank on a Quez walk-in one.
Oh, that would have been a pretty good one, actually.
That would have been really good. You could have probably put $10 and really cashed out on that.
Get like $1 million. I can't imagine what the odds were. I can't even imagine.
I could say like
pretty low.
But I could say that I definitely want to see Quez get involved a little more. That'd be nice. After seeing what he can do, like with just that little catch and run, I'd like to see a little more of a design play into him. We'll say some pregame talk though. I don't want to dive too far into it. I get carried away. I admit it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that. But dual threat. What's up with that? What's your question, man?
Okay, so Greg already knows the question. He's giving me his answer. So me and a friend were having this big, epic debate, and this might be the greatest question you might ever answer in your life.
Okay.
So look,
I'm ready for his reaction.
Chocolate be a candy?
You threw his entire.
Wait, I'm very confused by this question. So
Can chocolate be candy?
Are you asking? Is chocolate a candy?
No, it's more. Can chocolate be candy?
But isn't it already candy?
I mean, like you have chocolate syrup and stuff, but it's not really a candy in its base form. It can be made into a candy, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. Well, okay. So let's take this. Let's take this into perspective here, right? So,
right.
So chocolate syrup, right?
Right.
What do you normally put chocolate syrup on?
I don't know. In milk.
Milk, ice cream, maybe.
True.
What else could you put on ice cream? Candy, you know.
Mhm.
Put some cookies in there, or Oreos, whatever you want to put in your ice cream. You can put mint in there for some reason. I don't know why people like that. I'm not a fan of mint, but to each his own. To each his own. No judgments.
Right.
I mean, I would say chocolate already is a candy, but isn't it? Is it not? Do you guys think it's not?
I was more on the line that chocolate is more like chocolate is kind of a substance and can be made into a candy. Like it's, you know what I mean?
That's not wrong.
Like syrup is syrup kind of thing, like maple syrup, and
we're chocolate. You can get candy bars in the flavor of chocolate.
Right.
But wouldn't that just be a chocolate bar?
Yeah,
but
it's candy.
You could say the same thing about.
Yeah. So if you can call a chocolate bar a candy bar, I feel like that answers it itself, right?
I see why he
opened it up. Exactly. Now this is the greatest question that the world has ever seen.
I've never. You would think that would be like a common thing, right?
Yeah, but my friend was saying no, chocolate is just chocolate. It's not candy. Candy is more like Fruitalicious stuff, like gummies and stuff.
But it's like, in what other context do you consume chocolate with? You know, like I get it, chocolate milk. You can put chocolate syrup, but I would call chocolate syrup just like a kind of like sweetener, like candy, like thing. You know, like it's not candy, but like you could put it together with candy.
So you're saying chocolate's more of a flavor than candy?
No. Don't get me wrong. No, chocolate can be a flavor. Chocolate can 100%. If you get a lollipop, you can get a chocolate flavor lollipop, 100%. But that's just because they get the chemical thing right. They just make that from the whole thing of chocolate, which this is a very good question. I can go off about this all day, I think, but I feel like I'm like breaking down like a sports team. Like, so if this team is like this, and this team is also like, but no, that for real.
your reaction was priceless, though. I was ready for it because like you like honed in. You're like, all right, I'm ready for the best sports question of my life, and I knew it was coming.
It's chocolate candy.
I can go off about this as much as I can about sports, though. That's the funny thing.
It's a great question.
See, I straight up was like chocolate bars and like, but you can break it down. But I was, my answer to him was I thought yes because I think that like you buy chocolate in in candy stores, but that would have been like more of my route that would have taken on it.
Man, I'm like over here like breaking down like a full lecture of like why
candy bar over there.
Like, point A, point B, point C. I was like, what is this?
We gotta break out the whiteboard for the next show.
For real. I might as well. Oh gosh.
All right, boys. It's been a great episode, great time with you guys. I'm gonna
always.
Right. I'm gonna head out and go watch a little bit of Sixers game, which they're
up right now
in the background.
Yep, they're up 33-29, looking good.
Let's go.
But See you guys. You want to close it out?
Yeah, Jess.
Sure,
Go
why
ahead,
not?
our
I'll
opener. Let's
close it.
close that thing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Follow us on any social medias. We got it all down here at the bottom. We got the Twitter, we got the Insta, we got the YouTube, we got the Facebook. All the links right here. Like us, follow us, do all you can. We appreciate all the support. I'm very happy to be a part of the team, guys. Thank you very much for letting me on. And we'll see everyone on Sunday. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Dallas sucks.